Welcome back to Claudia's Cuisine. Tonight I'm making fruit cake. 1 pound of fruit cake. I have here 2 sticks of butter, 8 ounces each. Keep the butter to room temperature. So I'm gonna cream this butter before I add the sugar. Okay. I like begin slow and then speed up as we go along. Okay, so to each pound of butter, you're gonna add either 3/4 cup pound of flour, 4 cups of sugar, but I minus the sugar. I normally bake with 3 cups because it's sugar from these fruits and the wine and everything there. So I don't like it too sweet. So this is the sugar. And sometimes it's best if you sieve your sugar, because like you see some sugar here in this sieve is a little coarse, and when you add the egg to the batter to cream the butter with the sugar, sometimes it has a little crumbs on the side, and that's when bakers got a little white top, little white marks, little bubbles looking at the top, and it don't look nice. So so this is 3 cups of sugar. I'm gonna see, just to be on the safe side. And you could add the sugar one time, or you could add it a little at a time. Like the 3 cups, you put in like 1 cup, half cup, however you want to add it. That's your preference. Okay, I'm not going to show you the whole thing and take up a lot of time. So this is some sugar I'm adding here. And while that is creaming, I'll go ahead and okay. Lock it. And you always start on the low mode. Not to get your sugar or your flour, like you're decorating yourself with sugar and flour. Okay, while this is doing its thing, no harm in that. I'll continue seasoning it. Remaining sugar. Piece of stubborn one at the side here. I want it to get creamy for adding the sugar. I don't know why it's making that noise. Okay. Look, I have here 4 cups, measuring cups of flour. turn this off for a while. I'm gonna add some more sugar, and then halfway start putting in the eggs one at a time. I don't like soupy batter when liquid form in the batter. This is my fruits. I had it like 1.5 years. I just keep adding wine and turning it around. I'm going to add some more color. I can make it like this, but it can be light brown. So I'm going to add some brown sugar to this. So since it's a 1-pound cake, you add like 3 pounds of fruit, and 3 pounds of fruit is equivalent to like 6 of these cups. Ready to crack the first egg, and you never try to crack the egg in the dish that you're going to whip the egg, just in case. Then you take a spoon, and this is the thing that the oldest generation said, this is the chicken eye. And that's the part that the smell ranks when you mix the cake. So you get those 2 things from the side. And then you put some. You could add the eggs to the one at a time in the mixer, but the way I would start to beat the egg. You either beat the 3 or 4, and you could add it a little at a time, or you beat them one by one to get the air. It's going to aerate, and the cake will be light and fluffy. I'm going to turn this off. Scoop down the side of the sugar. And you start slow. Okay, and this is the process. You could either put as many eggs as you want, but instead of batter, just be like the sugar just with the egg just turn into a liquid, and that's not the right way. Like, you know, the English, the British normally make egg. They don't got no soup in the cake. They don't have no soup liquid at the bottom and adding flour and it and say that's the right way. So this is the right way. This is the batter I'm gonna transfer into this bowl because the cake can mix into that. It's too small. Make sure your hands clean when you're doing this. You wash your hands. Okay, as you could see, the batter is nice and creamy. And I'm gonna add the fruits now to the batter. Is you add the fruits to the batter and you turn it gently. You mix the fruits into the butter and the sugar. You could use a spatula or you could use a wooden mixing spoon to incorporate this here. At this time, you could add your flour a little at a time, the sifted flour, and you stir it in. Because you're not using the baking powder, you want to go gently and fold the flour into the batter. You don't want to mix it like you're mixing dough. And to this you could add it now or you could add it later. This is vanilla and almond extract together I mix here. Since it's a large batch, I'm gonna add two tablespoons because it already had flavoring into the fruits like citrus peel, nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla flavoring and all the good stuff. So that's just a little extra I'm adding because I add the egg. So I'm gonna mix this up gently and come back and show you the finished cake dough. Okay, this is the last batch of flour I put in the cake batter. I'm gonna scrape the sides. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here and then go and get my pan, grease my pan. So this is a good cake batter. I'm gonna grease a few cake pan. And then you dust it like with flour. You coat the side, this prevent the cake from sticking. Preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Okay. And you have two options. You could use parchment paper. I don't like when the cake bake the white from the flour at the bottom of the cake. So I normally do the parchment paper. Or if not, this is lunch paper bag. I cut the bottom and fold them in half. And I line the bottom of the cake tin. I'm going to give the bottle one last stir. And then I'm going to fill the pan. And this normally bake 1 hour. Take an hour to bake. But I start at 350 and then for the last 3/4 hour, I do 325 to 30 minutes. And you take the pan, you could either shake it or you tap it lightly to prevent air bubbles. So I like bake 3 at a time, so like 2 out of cake is gonna come, or 1. Direct 4 pans. It all depends on the size of the pan. If it's a 10-inch, 8-inch, 9-inch. I want 4, so I'm gonna do 1 small pan. And this is the pan we sample. When the cake finish, we taste it. I oven to 350 degrees, and I'm gonna put my cake in. I raise the shelf a little. I'm gonna put this here and put 1 on each side. And this is my first batch. So on Monday I'll bake again. So I'll keep an eye on it. And this is our little sample pan. So I'm gonna get a piece of cake tonight with a cup of tea. Okay, I'm checking on the cake now. Hey, they look nice. This is the cakes. Okay, I'm not gonna move them. Sometime when you shift them around, you see without any baking powder how they come up, and they don't have any white sugar bubbles, white bubbles, because the sugar didn't cream good enough with the butter. That's how I like it. So I'm gonna leave it for like another 15-20 minutes and then come back. Welcome back to Claudia's Cuisine. This is the cake. You know it's done when you could see the leave the side loose off from the side of the pan. Look, and then you see how it's soft and moist. Look, no baking powder, no baking soda, just eggs and cream lightly. You know when it's done when you stick a skewer or a matchstick and it's nothing come holding on. The dough is cooked when come get a clean come off clean. So you see my fingers. Tomorrow, God spare life, I'm gonna put the rum. You could put the rum now. Sometimes I add the rum and soak them, drunk them. So this is my first baking for the season, and I bake on Monday and Tuesday, God spare life, get my baking done. And my little tester, I put it in the oven. So by the time that finishes, it's too late. So I'm gonna get a little slice in the morning. So thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. You could leave a comment and let me know what you didn't like in the process. Thank you. Bon appetit.